Welcome to ACTPod, a podcast show that sheds light on the stories and impact of the social sector. The show is proudly powered by Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. Let's begin the change.
Hello there. You're welcome to yet another insightful and exciting episode of your favorite podcast show, ACTPod, our story, our continent. You will agree with me that any society that takes itself seriously should learn to nurture its children. And that is why, in commemoration of Children's Day this year, we are going to be talking about the great things that this change maker has been doing for them. So we're going to be celebrating our children's hopes, their voices, their giggles, the magic they bring, and the potential that actually lie within them. So today I'm going to be talking to someone I call a great man. He's a lawyer, but he's doing great stuff for children. He is the co-founder of Destiny Trust Foundation, an organization that is dedicated to the education, care, and empowerment of children. Let me not say too much. Let's just go over to Abimbola Ojenike. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's my pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Great. All right, so we have a ritual. When we start, we like to get to know about our guests. Who is Abimbola Ojenike, and how on earth did you find this path that you're beginning to tread?
Okay, Abimbola Ojenike is Abimbola Ojenike.
The lawyer.
Yes. I see my essence as one of a builder. I think I'm here to build systems and solutions that actually help a large number of people to get out of the things that hold them back. And I think the foundational point is working with children. That's where life starts from. It's where the foundation is laid. It's where people become who they're going to become. So the thinking really is about ensuring that we help many people as early as possible to get on the track of becoming their very best. So everything about me, the things I do from time to time are all about helping people to be their very best.
Okay, so now let's dive a bit into Destiny Trust Foundation.
Great.
At what point did you know that, okay, this foundation needs to be set up? And yes, how did you get into setting up Destiny Trust Foundation?
Well, it's been many stages. It's been many times. The very first time was in the University of Ibadan when I was a student there. There was a day I was going to browse off campus. That's what it was then. Cyber cafes were not everywhere then.
Yeah.
So I was leaving the campus to get somewhere to access the internet. So at a place we call Abimbola Shopping Complex, I saw a blind girl. She was leading her mother around to beg. And there was a fight between the child and the mother. She was screaming, just acting up, telling everyone, hey, this woman has not put me in school. She has lied to me many times. She tells me all the time that we would go to school. And I'm still not in school. See other children coming from school. And I'm always here begging for money. People were coming together, giving their small amount of money. Don't worry, follow your mother. Don't leave your mother here. She will take you to school. I didn't give my money because I knew it wasn't going to solve the problem at all. I saw many problems right there. This person is homeless. If you don't have a stable shelter for the girl, schooling is going to be difficult. You also need someone to take care of this girl day to day. The mother cannot do that because the mother cannot even keep herself. So that was a big problem. And I started thinking about the problem around children who are homeless, children who are on the streets. How can we ensure that education for them is sustainable? I thought that moment, we need a really holistic solution for them. And it can't just be one handout. It can't just be, oh, I give you school bag, I take you to school, and you're good to go from there. It cannot even be that I give you shelter. It cannot even be a regular school because the regular school will not attend to the problems of this person. Because at the time I saw that girl, she was around 11, 12 already. So that was like the first moment that I thought to myself, it would be good to do something for this category of people The idea was still nebulous, and I told myself I was going to do something about that. I didn't do anything about it. I graduated from the university. I started working in a law firm, and the law firm environment is a really fast-paced one. You hardly have time to think about the person on the street. I mean, apologies to all lawyers. So it's day to day, there's a lot going on. And at the time, I started noticing all of these children again on the streets of Lagos, coming back from court, coming back from meetings. Then you would see them washing your windscreen, asking for money, praying for you. You buy a jet, you buy aircraft, and all manners of things. I mean, those are the big issues for them. And just like, okay, these are the same people that I saw in Ibadan. I'll do something about this. Again, I didn't do anything about it until one day I was coming back from court. The usual place we park on Adema, like Ikeja Street. A girl used to be there and helping us to park, telling us, "Okay, come back. Okay, it's okay. You can stop now." And the girl was just insulting me, just saying, "Oh, poor lawyer. Your other people working in banks, they have bigger, better cars. Yours is just a Nissan X Salon. Like, you give small money and everything." I knew something had changed in that child. It was about the hostility to the people that she used to be so respectful to. I knew something was changing. And the thinking for me was, what's going to happen in the coming years? This person is beginning to develop aggression against the society, feeling already that the society has failed to take care of her. I got back to the office that day and I was asking my other colleagues, did you notice that girl at the parking lot? And everybody was sharing their own experiences as well. Like, oh, that girl has changed. It was that moment we said, okay, can we do something about these people? Like, we can't leave them there. We started going out of the office to spend time with them. Then at Koramo Beach, because that was where most of these people used to go to sleep at night. At Koramo, we saw a large number of children sleeping on the beach front. That was like home to them. People using the fishing net as covering at night, asking them about parents. Some came from Ondo, from different parts of the country or your state. A whole lot of people from your state. And they used to name people by where they came from. So if you're from your state, your name could be Ibadan. So the person from Ondo will be Akure, and then people from outside of the country as well. And they were living without care. Some of them had like parents who abandoned them there, who were coming there like from time to time to just say, oh, you're alive, at least you're fine. And then they go their own way as well. Most of the mothers, usually single mothers, they were like beggars on the streets as well. That moment we decided to do something about those people. We didn't know exactly what the best solution should be in the situation because we knew they needed shelter immediately. We wanted to build like a residential learning center for all of them, but you can't take everybody all at once. It even takes a whole lot for you to build the residential learning center that will accommodate this large number of people. You also need to learn. I never managed any home before, any shelter for children. So we needed to learn from these people to know the best way to structure or design a solution for them, to know the solutions that work. So the initial attempt was to resettle those who had like family members around, resettle them into like a stable shelter somewhere. That didn't work. You had people who were collecting money and the rent paid, collecting it from the landlord, colluding with the landlord to say, oh, Destiny Trust people, don't worry. We will talk to them. They are relocating us to another place. Some people collected their rent, ran away. Some people wanted to collect school fees from schools, and proprietors were calling us. Is it true that you're withdrawing this child from school? We said, no, that's not correct. We had people who abandoned the children again in the shelter that we got for them, and they just, disappeared. So we knew that moment that wasn't going to work. We needed a more structured environment where we can give the children that stable environment to go through school. Because indeed, education is our core. Education is what we really want to do. But we understand that education cannot be sustainable, especially for children, if you don't provide for their basic needs in shelter, daily feeding, healthcare, counseling. And for those who have gone the way of more dangerous social habits as well, like drugs and everything, they need a process of rehabilitation. You can't take them straight to school. They remain a danger to the society. So there is that process of rehabilitation as well. So at the end of the day, we designed the Destiny Trust Initiative as an integrated one that caters to all the major needs of the child, from the point of rehabilitation to settling down in a shelter that is structured in a family-like way, because we also don't want children to stay in an institutional environment in a sense. We know it's not the best for children.
Okay.
It's like the last resort. Till today, our first intervention when we see a child is not, oh, come into our shelter. No. We try as much as possible to ensure that we find a place for that child in the family. Where family fails, where we know that family is not going to work, maybe a girl ran out of home due to abuse and all of that. We know we can't take that child back and say, oh, you have shelter now. Your parents are here. Okay, so go back there. No, that home is not home for that child. So we started considering a whole range of issues around them and the best way to structure residence or shelter for different categories of people, and having a care plan that literally helps them to get out of where they are and be where we want them to be, or where they should dream of getting to.
Wow, this is a lot. Like I said, I had checked you out on your social media, and I see that you're doing so much for these children. And now that you started your story, I'm like, what were you looking at? When you first saw this child on the street the first time, and then years after. And then I can imagine maybe you had God say, Abimbola, you need to do this,
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that you didn't just, see the problem and look away. And like you said, it's not an easy life for a lawyer.
At all.
You move really fast. And for you to even be combining this, with your career as a lawyer, I think, where's my Shakira? I didn't. I think you deserve a lot of.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, and you have highlighted the challenge of working with this sect of children. The homeless children, street children, how they can even be taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
I'd like to know how did you deal with some of those challenges that you had, and how did you come around it for these children?
So for children, we believe they're still very impregnable at that stage. So the very first intervention for us is to create the right environment for them. The environment can change children very drastically, for good or for bad. If the child is under the bridge, what you're doing there is what the child is going to do.
True.
If we create a different environment for the child, and you have books there, you have the playground, you have different skills learning opportunities, you have the performing arts option for them. You can dance, you can sing, you can do all manners of things. Already you are on the right track to changing that person. If there has been a major disruption in childhood, you're addressing that, providing the right psychosocial support for the person to recover from that trauma first and be like a regular person. But the moment that is done, if the environment is right, children always yield the best results, because it's so easy to work with them, easy in that sense. They're willing to change. They don't like the life they have on the street. But no child really wants to sleep under the bridge. None of them is interested in being in the slums. The moment you bring them into a right environment, you see how somebody will be looking here and there and trying to make connections already before you say, okay, there's a process to all of this. So children almost always are willing to work with you if you provide the right environment for them.
Very good. Very, very, very true. Yeah. So I like the fact that you do not have, one straight-jacketed way of working with the children. You find what works best for them. The one who needs to be integrated into a family, you do that.
Absolutely.
If that doesn't work, then you try and bring them into the centers that you have. And I also like the fact, because I was going to ask if, because there's this trend that I see going on with children, which is actually very good, which is, performing arts, dancing, things. And I think in some of your Instagram posts, I've seen that. How do you see that panning out for the children? How do you see the impact of arts on them?
Yeah, it's a huge one for them. Okay. It's like the primary point of contact with children when you're trying to help them come out of themselves. It builds their self-esteem, the thinking that I can do something that others appreciate. and everybody is dancing one way or the other.
Yes.
So, but dancing is
Even if you don't
not,
know how to.
it's not like the one we do just, I see them, I know that. And there's a lot, a lot goes into that. So the thinking that they can learn that coordination. I can't dance the way they dance. I cannot follow. I'll forget all the steps. But they remember all of that.
Yes.
It's one of the ways we tell some of them, if you can dance, you're doing well in dancing. It means you can do well in school.
Right.
I tell them, I can't dance the way you're dancing. You remember all the steps. You don't miss the steps. That's exactly what you need in school. So it's helping them to build self-esteem. It's helping them to rediscover their capacity to understand that if I can do this, I can do other things as well. And it's the same approach we adopt for every other skills learning that we do. It's the same thing in tech for them. You would see somebody that is struggling with, let's say, mathematics in school, but you like coding. And I tell you that if you like coding and you're doing well, you can as well do well in the other one as well, and in many things. And it's always a great thing for them to know that thing they're doing is something I would love to do. To tell them, I can't dance, but you're dancing. I cannot sing to save my own life, but you're doing that already. I cannot code anything at all, but you're building software. You're, doing things that some of us are still dreaming of being able to do. So that means that you're really a super special person. And I'm not saying that just as a way of encouraging you. You're literally demonstrating to I'm repeating to you what you have shown me. So that's a big deal for them.
Wow. God bless you so much.
God bless you too.
I'm so happy for the children that you have discovered as you go, and even the ones that you will continue to discover and help out. I see a lot of what you're doing, even in incorporating tech into what the children do. And like you have said, children, they're like sponges. Once you teach them, they pick it up. It's a coding that you think is a big deal. They actually do pick it up. And I've seen the learning center you have at, I think in Ibadan. You established one last year?
Yes, we did one last December in Ibadan.
Okay. And there's also the one in Arapagi. Did I get it?
Okay, so what we have in Ibadan is every center of the Destiny Trust is designed as a residential learning center.
Wow.
We have like 5 of them. So it means that you have regular residents, a place for them to sleep at night or live as a family. And then you have learning rooms. You have places where they can learn music, where they can do their dancing. You have a coding room in every center. And we have like 5 of them in that way. So what we have in Arapagi is a different project entirely. It's like a multimedia learning center in a public school. And it's one of the ways we want to create access to quality learning content for children in hard-to-reach communities. Arapagi, you can't get to Arapagi except you go on the waters. We've been looking for teachers to go there. They're not willing to go. The teachers in the school are very few. So we thought about it. We have many communities like this. There are many Arapagis, many communities across the waters. So what do? Do we just tell them we want to bring you teachers, but no teacher is willing to come? We are sorry, people, and you enter the boat and go back. It's not possible. Technology helps in all of that. The distance doesn't really count. The actual location is not a problem at all. Our thinking then was that in places like that, we could have multimedia devices there. A teacher can teach them from anywhere. We can have recorded lessons. We can have a non-internet-based platforms for them to be able to access learning content. And that's exactly what we are doing to ensure that wherever a child is, there is still the opportunity to learn. We want to make sure that we break the barriers of geography and the location of the child in bringing education to them.
I just can't help appreciating what you're doing. Even some children who are not homeless do not have this kind of opportunities. And imagine that, street children, homeless children have this kind of opportunities. Can you tell us maybe one or two of maybe some impact stories or a child or two that have come out of these learning centers who have now become, successful in, of course, in their own, in their endeavors now?
Yes, all our children are successful.
Awesome. That is
one way or the other.
Yes.
And I'll tell the stories of my friends in the universities. It's always interesting to see how they have become responsible adults. Because I remember the very first interaction. Usually, I met most of the children while they were still on the streets. We are growing now. I'm not joining some of them straight from the streets, but for some of the people who joined us initially, they were the people that we started with in 2012 and in later years when we used to sit down with them where they were on the street, where I used to go and look for them on Adeshola, understanding where they would be part-time. And to see those children that couldn't spell their names, people who were skating on the streets, saving their money to be able to go to school one day. Now they're in the University of Ibadan, the same university I attended, the same place where I first conceived the idea before I joined other people who shared this dream with me. The same kids that we saw like 12 years ago, they are in Unilag. Wow. They are software engineers, now helping us to build some of the solutions we are trying to build because we don't have the huge funding to build all our ideas for technology for kids. So these children that we raised from the streets, that we trained through our Kids Innovation Africa project, are the ones who are developing software for us today. Wow. They are working in companies. They are still undergraduates. They are doing projects for us, doing projects for people, and they are teaching other children as well. So programming or coding has become like the normal thing. When children come in and you have not introduced them to the coding classroom, they begin to wonder, I want to join the coding class. It's like the normal thing for you
have democratized
to do.
Tech for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the idea, really. Create the access, make it common for everyone. So it's a big issue for us to see all of those people, boys and girls who are now responsible adults who can engage with us, who can give us ideas on how to do what we're doing. And that's a critical sustainability factor for us to raise the people who then are able to support what you do and can then help society in a more significant way as well.
Yes, I like the fact that you brought sustainability into the group because I see that what you're doing is not a touch and go. Normally
we stay with them.
Normally interventions like this will get them school bag, maybe stop them with notebooks and pencils, sharpener and all that, and then maybe get them shoes, uniforms, and that's it. And then you expect the child to become successful.
It doesn't solve the problem.
Exactly.
It's an aspect of solving the problem, but that's not the ultimate solution.
Exactly.
Because if you take those children to school and you see that the school does not have a roof, or there are no teachers in the classroom, or there'll be no meal tomorrow for that child to come back to school in good conscience. You can't just go back and say, bye-bye. You have been enrolled in school, you are no longer one of the out-of-school children. That person will drop out of school again. There is a mass education program that we do. It's the acknowledgement that we can't solve all the problems, but for these people, we can't leave you there. Still go to school that is closer to you. It's why we then keep thinking of how to help those that we enroll under the mass education program that caters to about 1,000 children every year. We are trying to limit the number for now because, it takes a lot to provide support to even the 1,000 after. So you need to continue to support the schools. You need to continue to support the families and even the children. They are not the people you're bringing into your shelter, those who are under your nose every day. Sure. But for all of these people as well, they need you for education to be sustainable. So it's a multifaceted thing.
Yes. You had mentioned support. I think I also saw the fact that you work with some parents or guardians of these children to get them actual vocational skills.
Absolutely. You've learned a lot about it.
I was just so excited finding out about this kind of foundation in our country, Nigeria, because, children are not just the future of society. They are like the heartbeats. Absolutely. And if you want to know what your society will look like 10, 20 years from now, just go and look at the children.
What we do to the children today.
Exactly. So I so love the investment that you're putting into these children, not just them and even their guardians, so that they can continue to cater, to these children. If, for example, you are not able to continue. But
absolutely,
I'm still staying on sustainability. In these times and seasons when funds are dwindling, the funds are reducing, people are talking about cuts. You are setting up learning centers, you are doing this. I'm sure some non-governmental organizations, some non-profits and social enterprises will be like, Abimbola, cut soup for us now. How do you even raise funds for these kind of things, the interventions that you do with the children? How do you raise the funds to get the learning center, the multimedia center, to put them in place and to keep them running?
Quite contrarily, I think for the Destiny Trust, are we affected by what is going on? It means we would be affected, or we might be affected. The problem at the moment is about corporate funding, essentially. Okay. And we haven't enjoyed so much of that. The Destiny Trust was built around the public trust. That was the first thing we tried to do as we were starting. We wanted to build a structure that enabled us to work with people for so long. We have so many individuals. We have like a community around the work. We realized the need for us to build an accountable structure from the beginning, to have a governance arrangement that they can trust, the one that engages the stakeholders in what we do. And that's how we have worked in the past 12 years. So the people who give to us, they're regular individuals mostly. Our impact report every year shows about 75% individual funding, essentially, and about 25% for corporate funding. Corporate funding is what we're trying to get. So, we're trying to increase that. So now that the world is really, that space is shrinking or changing entirely, it means that we need to think more creatively. But at a fundamental level, we are supported by the ordinary people. We earn their trust, and we keep trying to sustain the trust. We keep a transparent structure. We report when our stakeholders are not asking us for a report at all. We have like our impact report 2 times in a year. Our financials are published and made public at any time. Everything is all out there. And it's so easy for us because indeed, there is nothing to lose by being transparent. We only have a lot to gain because everyone can then see the kind of impact their money is making. They are sure that the investment is going into the right places. We also get feedback from them that helps them as well. And it gives them a sense of ownership. They can see, oh, this is what these people are doing. They can express an opinion, and they know that their opinion will be taken seriously because they're a part of what is going on. And in terms of the governance as well, because we are volunteer-driven, and over time, volunteers have come to own this as their own thing. They're the ones in charge of the government of the Destiny Trust. And they can see how things are run. So all of these people are staying together. When we enter the rough patches, they're willing to come in and to rescue us. They were very small young professionals several years ago, but they are growing as well. They are setting up businesses also. They are startups. They are small companies are coming out also to partner with the Destiny Trust. And at the individual level, they are giving also. So it's that community that is helping us. So it's really the power of community for the Destiny Trust for now. And it's how we have been sustained. And if you raise funds from the public, if you depend on people to stay with you on a certain journey, then you have to let them know how the journey is going and the impact their investment is making. So that openness is so key to sustainability for us. And it's how we think we are going to run in the coming years also.
If you're just getting contributions, donations from individuals, and you're doing this much, I can imagine, how much further you'll be able to help children if you had, the kind of donor relationship that you're looking to. If
Absolutely.
You're a donor out there, this is Destiny Trust Foundation to the world. Please, you need to look for them. So if someone is to get in touch with you, for example, and they want to know how they can be of help, how they can partner with you, how would they do that? How would they find you?
Okay, so they can send us an email. info@destinytrust.org or hello@destinytrust.org or through any of our social media handles. We are very responsive. You will jump on that within a short time.
Yes.
Because we are hungry for your collaboration.
Yes, and you can take his word for that. He is very, very responsive. Because I knew him from nowhere, and it was just an email introduction. And Abimbola was very, very responsive, and I really, really want to credit you
for that.
Credit you for that. Okay, I guess that we are going to be rounding up now. You have literally answered all my questions, and even more. I so like the fact that you have taken us on a journey of how you started, where you are now, how you even do the kind of things that you do with the children, the different aspects that you try to intervene in the lives of these children, and the fact that many, many of them are turning out successful right now. And we're so proud of that.
Thank you.
Maybe just, just one laid back question for you. So I'd like to just know, what do you do for fun? Or what is one thing that nobody knows about you? It's something fun about you.
Okay, what do I do for fun? I love lawn tennis.
Oh,
yes,
great.
I'm still a rookie. Yeah,
Oh.
so I try to play at least once a week.
Okay.
And
That's a lot.
Yeah.
In this Lagos. Once a week.
Yes,
Congratulations.
and one fun fact about me. Okay, maybe it's good to let you know that I was in my first in-school assessment, I took the 100th position in the class. So we had
How many were you in class?
We have 4 arms of primary 1, 25 in each class, and I was rated as the dullest.
And here you are. Imagine. Reminds me of who is
so that's
this
a fun
science-
fact, right?
Exactly. Who would think that the guy who was 100th position out of 100 will turn out to be so, I don't even want to just say successful, so impactful. Thank you for not allowing that to stop you.
It's become my testimony to the children as well.
Awesome. Yeah, so they also know that
you can do well.
Yes.
My first attempt, I took number 100. So you are even doing better. You are 10 or 20.
You're doing
you do well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So if you weren't a lawyer, what other career path would you have?
So I love journalism as well.
Okay.
Yes, and possibly farming because I love to see things grow. And I think it's the same interest across.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again, Abimbola Ojenike, for making our time
pleasure.
to be here. And that is where we call it a wrap on this episode of ACTPod. Join us same time next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to ACTPod. For inquiries and feedback, please reach us on actpod@actrustfoundation.org. Follow us on social media at ACTFoundation_ on Instagram and Twitter, and Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation on Facebook. The show is proudly powered by Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation. ACTPod, our story, our continent.